بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Your Excellency, distinguished participant, esteemed guests, and valued members of the press. It is truly a pleasure to be present for this occasion among such distinguished guests. I have had close time with the Turkish banking system since the 80s, and I must express my appreciation at the achievement of the Turkish economy and the banking system since that time. Being the chairman of the first participation bank in Turkey, I must also share our pride in having seen the development of the participation banking within this growing economy. I truly believe that the participating banks have added a great value to the international presence of Turkey. When we look at the history of the interest-free banking, we see both healthy growth and still a high potential. Since the development of its theoretical framework during the 50s and the establishment of the first interest-free banking institution during the 70s, which took place in Dubai, participation banking has recorded a big improvement in many fields, such as asset growth and product development. By the end of the 2010, asset size of the interest-free banking all over the world came to nearly $1 trillion. The portion of the interest-free banking in the global banking system has been steadily increasing, especially after the 2000s. But we believe that there is a high growth potential for these banks. The share of the interest-free banks in the total global banking system is still about 1% in terms of asset size, and it has a potential to grow. In Turkey, the first participation bank was founded in 1985, and today the share of the participation banks in the banking sector is around 5% in terms of asset size. Turkish participation banks constitute about 3% of total global interest-free banking. Inshallah, Turkish participation banks will increase its share in the global banking system as well as in Turkey, thanks to the growing interest to the participation banks at their continuing growth performance. We believe their share will raise at least to 10% of the total banking system in Turkey. Participation banks has been instrumental in bringing the ideal funds into the utilization of the real sector. Thanks to the working principle of the profit-loss sharing base, participation banks have been less affected during all crises, both globally and Turkey. Why? Because we involve in real economy. We don't do gambling. That's why the two major issues for the crisis in Europe and America was two. America was started with the real estates, buying debts of the mortgage, and in Europe it has the both, buying real estates, debts, as well as what they call it, the creative products, which is the swaps and the options and the other. The Islamic banking, they don't involve in buying this. We don't buy this because it does not add to the economy at all. Their contribution is zero. Furthermore, Islamic banking, they have not been involved in the derivatives products because it is very difficult to control the risk of these products. And that's why now the Europeans are suffering a lot with the derivatives, worse than what they call it right now, the sovereign debts. As the President of the Union of Arab Banks, I must here remind the audience that the main shareholders of the 3 or 4 participation banks in Turkey are from the Arab countries. And these main shareholders have been in the Arab region. For example, ABG, Arab Banking Group, has 12 banks in some Arab countries, including Turkey. Our total branches right now is close to 400 branches. We start with 1 branch, and now we are so close to 400 branches, and hopefully by 2012, we will add another 50 branches worldwide. I certainly believe that this network has helped develop trade and investment relationship in the past and will continue to positively contribute to the trade volume between Turkey and the Arab countries. I must say that the Turkish economy is followed very closely by the Arab world. Turkey and the Arab world have a strong culture and historical ties, which definitely help in increasing the economic cooperation between these countries. In the recent years, there has been a significant increase in the trade volume between Turkey and the Arab world. In the first 9 months of 2011, total export of Turkey to the Arab countries is $19 billion US. And total imports from these countries is $6.6 billion. That means the trade is in favor of Turkey. At the same period of the previous year, these figures were $16.7 billion for the export and $4.8 billion for the imports. Note that this positive change has happened in an environment where political and economic turbulence in the world and in the region have affected so many. The total share of the Arab countries in the Turkish total export and imports has increased to 19% and 4% respectively. When we consider the large trade potential between Turkey and the Arab world countries, these numbers can be easily increased to a very big figures. Distinguished participants, I would like to thank you all for having had this chance to participate in this event. We believe that Participation Bank will continue to finance the economies of the countries that they are established in and will continue to contribute to the well-being of the societies all over the world. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And thank you very much.